Welcome to Labatt Buffalo Main Event. Bob Gaughan along with Brad Ryder, and coming up on today's show, Brad and I will discuss the Super Bowl with former Buffalo Bill and current Bills broadcaster Mark Kelso. We'll talk about the Buffalo Sabres, the NFL Hall of Fame, but Brad, we begin with, was it one of the biggest upsets of all time? The Super Bowl, the Giants knock off the New England Patriots. 18-0 is now 18-1. Your thoughts on the Giants victory?
That's a good record, right? 18-1.
Yeah,
but,
just
man,
not good enough.
No, I don't remember the last time I had as much fun as I did watching that game. As far as the Super Bowl is concerned, really any NFL game, that was about as good as it gets. Even the slow, boring parts. I mean, the game 7-3, and it was exciting because of what you could see happening. And there were a lot of predictions before the game about if the Giants were going to win. It was going to be about ball control and a low-scoring game, and I thought that was wrong. I thought the Giants could go out there and really perform offensively. As it turns out, low-scoring game was, in fact, the formula. And, man, it was sweet to see Brady get hit like he did. I've never seen that before, and it was great.
I thought they dominated every aspect of the game.
Yeah.
I thought Eli Manning was sharper, believe it or not, than Tom Brady, which I never would have bet in a million years.
I can't believe some of the throws he made.
No, I thought the offensive line for the Giants was phenomenal. The Patriots tried to blitz them, couldn't do it. I thought the defensive line of the Giants, yes, that's the story. They dominate the offensive line. But almost every single coaching, even would you pick Coughlin over Belichick?
Never,
no.
Ever.
But, Belichick panics. He doesn't kick a 49-yard field goal.
Right.
He panics at the end with 35 seconds to go and starts throwing Hail Marys instead of trying with all
realizing he has Tom Brady.
And he's got 3 timeouts.
Yeah. Well, and you know what else, too, Bob? I think finally the pressure of that perfect season did catch up to the Patriots. They've been unflappable as far as, pressure, what? Huh? What am I worried about? They didn't feel a thing until all of a sudden it hit them. And I heard it from Brady before the game, where he was suddenly talking about how nothing matters unless they win this game. And I thought, ooh, you're thinking about this now.
Right.
And I think it actually did get to him a little bit. And the pressure of finishing off the undefeated season might be what did them in. And
also, the last drive, I guess Richard Seymour tells the Giants, it's time for you guys to go home. And they were just, upset. Seymour, who's known maybe as a dirty player, now he's saying those things, and they were more than happy to
we'll go
tell
home
them.
Right after we finish you.
Yes, exactly. Absolutely incredible. The big story before the Super Bowl, Brad, was Spygate. Now that the Patriots have lost, do you think that Spygate is going to have as much teeth, or will this story just go away?
I think it probably is going to go away to a certain extent. Yeah, I think it loses a lot of its luster with the Patriots not being an undefeated team anymore. They kind of have gone away now, quietly. And I think that's a big part of it.
I disagree.
They lost
Here's the reason I disagree, is because I thought Spygate had nothing to do almost with this year. Yes, it did have something to do with the Jets game the first week, but I don't think anybody accused them of cheating after the first week of the season. I think Spygate all the time had something to do with the previous years. It had to do with the previous Super Bowl runs. So they didn't win a Super Bowl this year. That I don't think was ever in question. What I think is in question were the 3 Super Bowls that they did win. So I think that Spygate still has a lot to do because it has to do with things that happened in the past and times when they actually did win the Super Bowl. So that's why I thought it was rather important. The other story coming out of the NFL, Roger Goodell gives his State of the League, and he talks about the Buffalo Bills going and playing a game in Toronto. Brad, the more you think about it, this is going to be a late season game in Toronto, which means basically this year's Cleveland game.
Oh, the biggest game of the year?
The biggest game of the year is going to be in Toronto. How much of the home field advantage is going to be lost because of this?
Are they the home? I mean, officially they're the home team, but the Bills play a game in Toronto. Are they going to be looked at by the fans as the home team, or is it like when the NCAA tournament comes to Buffalo and everybody wants to go because it's great? Look, an event is here, but there are really torn allegiances. You root for whoever. There are 20,000 people in the arena and half for whatever teams are playing. I don't think it's going to be a home game at all. So I think back to post Hurricane Katrina and the Giants hosting a game against New Orleans.
Right.
And it was an extra home game for them, and that felt kind of dirty. And the Bills are signing up for 7 home games, 8 road games for the next 5 years.
Yeah.
I guarantee over the course of 5 years,
right,
we're going to be angry. I'm going to be angry.
Well,
at one
it's gonna
point.
be a
I don't know
big
if it's the first. I don't know if it's the first time, but during the course of 5 years, if you're going to put 5 games in Toronto, one of them's going to make them mad.
Well, exactly, because this is an 8-8 league, right? I mean, essentially,
Everybody's
other than the Patriots and the Miami Dolphins, every game, every team, come the 13th week of the season, it seems like
the Bills played the Browns in a game that meant something in December. That's
right.
exactly
right. There's
That's
18
an 8-8 league.
18 teams are always in the playoff run the last couple of weeks, and that's when you're playing. I would have preferred if they would have taken a September game, but not one of the most important games when everything is on the line, when it is, as we said, this year's Browns game, and I think it's not going to be the same atmosphere. Well, look at the ticket prices. They're talking about the average ticket price being $250. You know who that is? That's not even going to be your average Argo fan or your average Tiger Cat fan. That's not going to be, I don't think, the average person that comes down for the Maple Leafs game in hockey. I mean, I think that you're really adhering to the corporate crowd, the golf clap, if you will. It's not going to be the people that paint their face. So you're really
average
losing.
Argo fan.
Yeah.
We're not talking about your average Argo fan here.
Well, I'm just saying.
I agree with you, but it's just a funny phrase.
Coming up next, it is the O Restaurant and Lounge email segment on Labatt Buffalo Main Event.
Short-term memory loss is something we all joke about. I forgot where I put my keys. I forgot what I wanted when I walked into the room. Those are common occurrences that happen to absolutely every person. And there's places out there that can help assess whether or not your loved one is really in the earlier stages of having a true memory impairment problem, or if it's just the routine forgetfulness that comes with day-to-day life. Bristol Village offers an exclusive memory care program, so call for help early.
Bristol Home in Bristol Village. Assisted living where family matters.